Hello, I'm Howard, pastor of the Roseville New Church, and welcome to Spiritual Shorts. My regular viewers will note a change in format for the Spiritual Shorts videos. These videos started over 3 years ago, just at the beginning of the pandemic, and they were intended to be a support for people whose only option was to worship at home. That pandemic is over, and 150 plus episodes, I felt it was time to make a change in the format. Still in the same place, as you can see, but I'm going to try and shorten them. I realize in today's world, a 15-minute video probably isn't even considered a spiritual short. So for me, the 15-minute videos still were spiritual shorts, but now I guess I'll be going down to about spiritual shorts. Trying to keep them under 5 minutes, but still impart important spiritual truths. Last week, I was struck reading some passages that were talking about wisdom. Specifically, I happened upon a passage that spoke about woman's wisdom. In New Church theology, and probably many churches' theology, there's a distinction to be made between men and women. And one of those distinctions is that women tend to be driven or motivated by their will, their heart, their love. And men tend to be more motivated by their intelligence or their wisdom. And now, in general terms, that's observable by most of us. It seems that women tend to be more emotional, and it seems to be that men tend to be more practical. But nothing is ever as simple as one general truth can capture. That's why last week, when I happened upon this one passage, I was intrigued. The passage is from Swedenborg's book, Conjugal Love, and it recounts an experience that Emanuel Swedenborg had in the spiritual world speaking with women. These women shared with Swedenborg a secret wisdom that women have. I encourage you to go ahead and read the passage yourself. It's very interesting. It's in the work Conjugal Love, number 208. I'm mentioning this because this week I am preaching on the story of Abigail, her husband Nabal, and King David. It's very interesting because in the story, Nabal refuses to give food to David's men. David's men who have been protecting Nabal's shepherds and therefore protecting his flocks in the wilderness. He refuses to feed them and to give them water. And David gets a little bit angry about this. He prepares to destroy Nabal's household, to attack his farm. His wife, Abigail, Nabal's wife, Abigail, learns of this intention. She learns of it from one of Nabal's shepherds who comes to her and says, I think he's mistaken. Nabal needs to understand that David's men have been very helpful and they haven't asked for anything from us. Concerned, Abigail decides to prepare a peace offering of food for David and his men. And she uses her wisdom and her discernment to appeal to David's better nature, preventing bloodshed and saving her household. Now, in Conjugal Love, Emanuel Swedenborg expands on the idea of a unique wisdom that's inherent in women, particularly within the context of relationships. one of the points made is that men's wisdom is out there. It sometimes is lauded over people, but women's wisdom is not. And it's interesting reading this passage because it really suggests that the wisdom is no less valuable, it's just not forced upon people. Swedenborg discusses that women are a very unique expression of or receiver of conjugal love, sometimes referred to as true married love. And from this, they have an intimate desire for union and harmony within relationships. And from this comes an intuitive understanding of wisdom. They don't need to learn. They simply know. And this wisdom is concealed, or it's secret, and it operates very subtly within the spheres of relationships and emotions. Abigail demonstrates an intuitive understanding of what's going on for David, and she is able to use that insight to address him directly. Through that process, she is able to subtly guide him away from a hasty and violent decision that would have caused great harm to her own household, but probably also caused great harm to David's legacy. Many a story from the Bible is all about great men: David, Noah, Moses, Solomon. But it's important also to realize that there are many great women in the Word as well. Women who do marvelous things. Mary, Abigail, Martha, Ruth. I find sometimes frustrating the discussion about men and women are this and men are that, because in the end, we wouldn't want to do without either. That's my thought for the week. It's what I'll be preaching on tomorrow. If you're in the neighborhood, I hope you can join us. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Spiritual Shorts, and may God bless you.